Change the UI for OBS. Everything looks so fat now.
But none of them believed me.
Demon. I might. Get on there. Alright, guys. Thought we could bypass those. Come on. Thank you.
Stand with me. I see everything. This may hurt a little. Committed to memory.
So, 君は悲しいことばかりで悲しい気持ち見込まれてどうか私を見つけた君が描かれる輝いたの怒りよ大丈夫
Everybody stand back. Break a leg. And step. Fire hazard.
Oh wow, I got a headshot in.
Stars, shine. Let's light it up. You're brand new now. Feels as light.
Wanna try Union with Noel? Proper mono geo,
Which
baby.
opera shall we perform today? Flags up!
Charge!
Steady as stone. Strike is one. Observe.
Press the advantage!
As a dutiful maid would. Someone needs assistance. I'll catch you.
Fall in!
Flags fly. And leap.
That's close enough. Advance!
Scatter. Leave it all to me. Break a leg. Observe. Time to clean up.
Charge! Where do you think you're going?
Someone needs assistance.
Oh god, how many of them were there? Oh my god, still detecting the exact same treasure.
Follow orders. New country. Everyone on me!
And step. Strike is one. I am the cutting edge of fashion.
New country.
As a dutiful maid would. As a good night should.
The wrong test subject. Picked the wrong test subject.
I'll catch up.
You guys are the test subjects right now.
The hunter becomes.
Should replace my hammer. Time to go to work.
Rally! Rustic color. Scatter! Let's go. Time to clean up.
Testing my patience.
Break a leg.
Gotcha.
Pull in.
We'll meet again.
And leap.
How come it sometimes feels like I don't get Eugene's attack speed? There's some kind of... Oh, it's unconditional, just burst.
Teamwork is true. Time for a light show. Ooh, will we find any firework materials in here?
I don't get what you're supposed to do. I don't remember how these minigames are supposed to play out.
Swirl, Mark 2.
Wind, hear me.
Have fun with this gift. Stand clear. Animal test 6308. Nice and spicy. If only I stumbled upon lab supplies as often. Out of the frying pan, into the fire!
This one I'm pretty sure can be interacted with Dendro. Nope. Nice and spicy! Beautiful. It's buggy.
Stand clear! Dare to mess with me? Truth repeats its course!
I swear by my sword.
You're toast! Animal hypostasis emulation! Animal test 6308! Stand clear!
This is apparently a quest. Oh, those were enamel particles.
If only I stumbled upon lab supplies as often. Too late for regrets. Animal test 6308. Swirl, Mark 2. We'll see about that. Too late for regrets. Have fun.
Wind, hear me.
Stand clear. Gears of the storm. Absorption test. Into the box.
I swear by my sword.
Wow, so many raw materials.
Jean's treasure opening voice lines are surprisingly pessimistic. It's kinda funny. There's what I'm looking for, but...
Yeah.
I can actually reach it with just Ka-Ching's thingy.
Hey!
Oops, didn't mean to press window. E. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Ba-dum bow ba-da-da-dow. Ba-dum bow ba-da-da-dow. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba.
Speed of light!
What? It disappeared. Fuck me.
By royal decree!
Let's fucking snipe it. Watch me.
Oz, reveal thyself! By royal decree! Destiny has brought me hither. Coming through! Incoming! I'm out of here! Oz, reveal! Jujitsu! Can't catch me! Don't blink! Cut to the chase! Hey! Good! Incoming! Ha! Ad Astra. Ad Astra. Thank you for complete.
Yeah, let's try this.
Charge!
Lend me a hand. Steady as stone, as a good knight should. Strike is one. Observe.
Press the advantage!
I am the cutting edge of fashion. Let's go. As a dutiful maid would. Break a leg and step. Leave it all to me.
Fall in!
Strike is one. This isn't staged.
Rally!
Delicate as silk. Is that all? Lend me a... I must leave no stone unturned, as a good knight should.
Advance!
I leap. Your grand finale. Next. As a dutiful maid would. Leave it all to me.
That Farina Noel's shield isn't really all as important, I suppose, so I don't need to worry too much about the rotation of that. Bah. Have you ever wanted to play Minecraft with your friends, but you didn't know how to host a server? Or maybe the servers were just too expensive, or you just didn't want to bother with setting one up, let alone trying to get your buddies on that server. I mean, what even is a port, and why? Well, ladies and gentlemen, today's subject is essential, as this mod seems to provide a solution for how to install it. So, addition to a continuous in Minecraft. This part is complete. It seems too good to be true, right? Right? Well, I thought so too. So I spent the last week monitoring their support team on Discord, asking testimonials from guys on Discord network community. And I also think positive thing anyone ever did. I read the terms of
Stop right there!
God set help.
As you wish, mate.
This is where
Since you
overruled.
does actually offer help services and
To
I
ashes!
saw their mod described as the easy way. To be honest, that's exactly what they did. Being made from wood fabric at the time of writing support from 1.16 all the way up to 1.21 fabric, with Forge coming soon as, to put it in their words, updating Forge is a pain in the ass. They do provide an installer though on their website, which not only looks clean and professional, but it's also, again, easy to use. But for reasons I'll come back to later, I still prefer the singular jar in mind. Though again, if you're new to Minecraft, all you can do is download this installer, and download and create the fabric installation on your Minecraft launcher, mod to install. After that, you can click up and you should see it's new mod. Skip here and most importantly,
God damn it.
which that was the magic trick of
Everlasting as the moon!
just click on friends and
Overruled! Justice will prevail!
seamless text to
As you wish, mate.
keep in mind
To ashes!
Java the server even among you might have spot something asks you and accept some sort of terms and conditions. So this set my alarm bells ringing because I've seen it. So over here, which usually is asked to allow them to harvest personal data. They wouldn't do that. Hey, either way, many of you might be wondering how does Essential do this? Well, I was asking myself the same question, so I started.
Transfixed!
Essential One uses some techniques from
Hands where I can see 'em.
Yes. See, you are currently watching this video, which has
Witness my
I also share. Now, this video is sent to your one-top ID. How does it know it needs to go to the computer instead of one's iPhone? Well, that's because rather assigns a different so-called private IP address for every connected device on your network. So multiple systems can still use the same public IP. And your router, well, it just routes the traffic. It's kind of like your house has only one address, and the mail that's in the mailbox is addressed to different people. This, in a nutshell, is called NAT, and while NAT phrase for general use as the which is accurate, to go back to this is the reason why you can't just open the server and you can even that go nuts. I believe trying to server on the standard 565 instead add Logo and will just be Essential does is use the
Midnight
framework to free. And what I see is just that it's used by itself. All it tries to do is Minecraft has a path compared to Minecraft. And it does this in two ways. First, it tries to make a connection to devices. To do that, it will first use the stub protocol to check if the connection that is trying to be made is behind one or more NATs. If it is, the stub protocol will try to connect up and then proceeds to find the best suitable connection. That fails, there is a backup system called Turn. This protocol uses a server hosted by Essential to act as a plan between two clients using that server as a relay, which of course is slower than just the IC connection as the further away you are from that relay, the lag you'll have, but it's better than no connection at all. Okay, third session over, back to Minecraft. Essential One uses these techniques in order to get you and your buddies on the same server. Now we know how Essential operates, it's time to get to the real meat of this video. Is it actually safe?
No rest for the wicked.
By royal decree.
Some of you might know that I take privacy a tad serious. I mean, there's a reason why I built my own router instead of just using the shitty one my ISP provided. So when I saw the box asking me if I was over the age of 13, my alarm bells went off. Again, because this box only exists for one reason. COPPA Act compliance. This act requires that online services, when collecting data from under 13-year-olds, need to disclose why and how this data is used and collected. Most websites that have this box make it a requirement for you to tick that, as it essentially waives away any liability speaking. So that doesn't mean they don't have to have a privacy policy. So what does Essential collect? And more importantly, why? Well, according to Montport, developers of Essential, it collects various microdata such as your universally unique identifier or yyyy, what mods you are using, and of course, your specifications. They also state further on that they will supplement unknown data with third parties for marketing purposes. Now, to be fair, in regular Minecraft service, your yyyy also gets stored as well as your fasting IP mods. Which is why you should always watch logs everywhere. The biggest issue I have is that data could potentially be sold. So I asked them directly, and I got a pretty straightforward answer. Quote, absolutely. Do not sell any data. Never have. And to be fair, their privacy policy also stated later on that they don't sell your data. And if that were to ever change, they would provide an option to opt out of that program. Though in the same sentence, they do repeat that they are sharing information with third parties, and maybe most importantly, their own Spark Universe, creator of network add-ons. But again, this is all just pretty common. It's not all that dangerous, even to someone as paranoid as me, as the value of information you do store and collect is not worth the backlash if they are selling it. Oh yeah, did I talk about the in-game shop yet? For my bedroom, the audience, excuse my whining for a second, as I know you had to deal with in-game shops your entire existence. So why the fuck is there a shop in my Minecraft game? Not only that, why is a mod asking me for money for a cake? Here's my live reaction, seeing the store for the first time. What the fuck? 20 bucks, okay. Creator code. What? What is this? So, $7.99, right? Divided by 1,000. That means every buck is about 8 cents, right? So if I were to multiply that by 2,500, right? 20 bucks. Okay, that's actually fair. That's good. Okay, so it's not that scummy, but Jesus Christ, why is there a cosmetic store in my fucking game? Okay, that's pretty cool. So at the very least, they aren't doing any scummy tactics of offering extras you're actually paying for, and the prices are pretty neat, and again, that was cool, not gonna lie. But why is this mod asking me to put my credit card here? Not only that, remember in my last video where I talked about paid Minecraft mods and how they break EULA compliance? Yeah, I'd like to remind everyone that this is not EULA compliant in any way. Hey, editing Lunar here. So apparently, I'm wrong. I was talking to the people at Spark Universe about this EULA compliance stuff, and they confirmed to me that Mojang has stated that mods fall under the same regulation as servers and the like. So in that case, they are actually EULA compliant. So ignore what I just said. But wait. Creator codes? They have a partner program? Why am I making this video? I could have been rich instead. Okay, jokes aside, this isn't as bad as it could have been. Again, I still prefer this over having to pay outright, and considering that the entire quality of the mod is this high, I do think the devs deserve some compensation if they decide. I guess for the services they provide, I can accept this store. At least they offer some free stuff, and I still don't like it, but these stun and turn servers are cheap to host, and if this allows the devs to sustain themselves and make a mod better, then I'm all. Although, there is one last issue I have. How safe is this entire system? It's important to remember that all these connections from the clients to the relay to the server are all still connected by Mojang's encryption algorithm. And because a single-player world is still run as a server, this is all that's required to make a connection. And while yes, there could be a malicious breach in one of Essential's relays, the bad actor can't really do much with whatever code he sends to the client, as Minecraft will either straight up deny it, as it's not the expected token, or Minecraft just can't execute that code because it doesn't know what it is. Aside from that, I do have my questions regarding the auto-update feature, because this mod has a tendency to self-install when a user plays any mod pack that has it enabled, which is kind of a red flag. So if at any moment a bad actor gets access to the backend and Essentials pushes a bad update, many users could be screwed. But then again, they do have to have their auto updates enabled, which is by default an opt-in. Even still, I prefer downloading the jar myself. I can see what I drag to my folders instead of having an installer do it for me. Those are the two main vectors I see an attack coming in, and both seem kind of unlikely. But okay, I think I've ranted for long enough. Let's get to some sort of a conclusion.
There you are. Fuck. I'm stupid.
So Essential Mod, a high-end piece of software that has some great infrastructure to back it up. And for what it's worth, phenomenal support. Seriously. Thanks to Geek for putting up with my questions. I'm actually glad I came to the conclusion that it's rather safe. When I started, I presumed this was some sort of smoke and mirror situation where this mod profited off the back of people's data. But after looking deeper and understanding the underlying technology at work, it doesn't seem to be that way, because whatever information they ask for can hardly be classified as personal, let alone sellable. And in terms of safety, it's basically as safe as any over-the-internet protocol or service can be. That being said though, I personally really dislike the cosmetic store. I don't want to see it in my game. It's the reason why after some research I will still prefer E4MC, which I'm going to be covering in another video. But to answer your question, and this video as a whole, is Essential safe? Yeah, I think it is. And if you just want to get together with some friends without the hassle or cost of setting up a server, hey, try it out. But with that all being said, I was Lumen. You were very awesome. And holy shit, this video was way longer than I expected.
You what? You were? I hate...
Patreon and
Why does everyone keep using past tags?
possible. It's
Whenever it's the end of the video.
For YouTube members, we have a new blooper uploaded. If you haven't seen it yet, I will play a small.
None shall whisper.
Feel free to check that out. And for the Patreon members, the full blog of my support ticket with the Essential Mod team will be available there. I would also like to thank Pain Ninja, Mose Mister, and Math Magician to help me decode and understand this software a little bit better. But that being said, thanks again to Geek for putting up with my bullshit the entire time. You know, I was a bit off in the first few questions, but they handled it perfectly. I don't think this company has anything to hide. They're not gonna sell your data in any way that is actually profitable for them. I think they're actually a well-meaning company, and yeah, I'm just excited to see where it goes. So I'll see you next time, lads.
Don't be scared of losing your precious extensions. Opera GX is compatible with every single one of them. Thanks to Opera GX for sponsoring this video. Use my link in the description to download Opera GX today. Before we begin, let's clear up something. A tool-assisted speedrun, or TAS for short, is a sequence of button presses that is being played back. This sequence is created on an emulator with save states. That's the tool part, but it is by no means created by the computer or an AI. It's painstakingly pieced together, frame by frame, over the course of days, weeks, or even years. The result is a fruit of countless hours of planning, research, testing, and refining. Don't discount the work of the authors of the TAS. 20 years ago, on December 14, 2004, Phil and Jenny Stowe published a worthless TAS of Super Mario Bros. And set a benchmark for what a perfectly clean playthrough looks like. Beyond running and jumping, this run featured a few quirks. First, Mario grabs a mushroom in 1-2 and a fire flower in 1-4. This initially loses time, but that time is quickly made up by Bowser. If you kill him with fire, the bridge doesn't collapse when hitting the axe, which saves 132 frames. This game runs at just about 60 frames per second, so that's a bit over 2 seconds. Multiply this by 7 worlds, and you can see the fire flower is well worth it. But why not 8? Simple, because the timing stops when the game is deemed beaten, which is on the frame Mario touches the final axe in 8-4, so there's no difference between having to watch the bridge collapse or not. Another important mechanic is the way Mario accelerates. In this game, Mario accelerates twice as fast in the opposite direction, so it's faster to face to the left and jump to accelerate to the right. This is done even more efficiently using a button combination unique to TASes, left and right. Mario is able to face left and accelerate to the right at the same time, allowing him to reach top speed about twice as fast and save a couple of frames on flat ground, sometimes more on stairs.
You will
There are
obey.
only two major tricks in this run.
One
The first is a wall clip in 4-4. This is a maze level, so you need to take a specific path through the stage. You're supposed to go over and back down like this, but with a wall clip, Mario goes down a bit quicker. At peak running speed, Mario moves by 2.5 pixels per frame, 2 on one frame, 3 on the other. If he's right next to a wall on one frame, he can move inside of it on the next. Normally, the game simply pushes him back out. That's the end of the story. But the wall is made of individual blocks that are no different from any other solid block. If Mario crouches, jumps onto the top of this block, and moves into the wall by at least 2 pixels, he can find himself standing on the block. By releasing down, he uncrouches and ends up halfway inside the wall. At this point, the game ejects him from the wall by pushing him to the right until he falls on the other side. This trick was a well-known way to reach the Midas world, but the fact that it could save time in the speedrun is groundbreaking. The second major trick is found in 8-4. For the same reason, Mario can find himself standing on a block that makes up the pipe. If he jumps on that frame, he can do a wall jump. This is called the wall jump room, but no one knows why. Also, in the next room, it's faster to scroll the screen just enough to set the destination of pipes to the water section, and turn back to the nearest pipe, rather than jump across to the intended one. This one is mysteriously called the turnaround room. After publishing the 1857 task, Phil and Jenny Stowe quickly realized that there was an optimization they left out with fast acceleration. To do a fast acceleration, you need to do a tiny one-frame jump so that you land as soon as possible. This is because Mario's speed has two different caps, a walking speed of 24 and a running speed of 40. Here, units of speed are in 16ths of a pixel per frame, also called subpixels per frame. Mario can only go past the walking speed cap if he's on the ground and B is held. So their strategy was to do a fast acceleration to reach 24 speed twice as fast, then run to 40. But they found out you can do better. If immediately after reaching 24 speed, you use left plus right to turn around again, you can also accelerate from 24 to 40 twice as fast. Implementing this saved 1 extra frame for a total of 3. This new discovery, however, ended up not saving any time in most levels, except in 3-3, 3-4, 5-4, and 8-1, where it actually saved 21 frames instead. How is that possible? Because of frame rules. Whenever a level is completed, the game sets a timer to wait for the fanfare to finish and transition to the next stage. As with several other long timers, instead of counting individual frames, it counts multiples of a 21-frame cycle called the frame rule that runs all the time from power on. This means that for the entirety of the run, time can only be lost or gained in increments of 21 frames, or 0.35 seconds. The only exception is 8-4, because timing stops when touching the axe. In this case, it just so happens that saving 1 extra frame meant that they could finish 3-3, 3-4, 5-4, and 8-1 one full cycle earlier, or 1 frame rule. In every other level, it didn't save enough time. Phil and Jenny Stowe also found that grabbing the fire flower in 1-3 instead of 1-4 would kill off 1 frame roll faster. Finally, the improved fast acceleration saved 3 frames in 8-4 for a total improvement of 108 frames or 1.8 seconds. They published this 1855.86 2 weeks later, on December 28, 2004. For years, that was the perfect run, and nobody could touch it. Until late 2007, when Tasser KLMZ made a groundbreaking discovery that would forever change the landscape of Super Mario Bros. Speedruns, the flagpole glitch. The level ending animation works like this. When Mario touches the flagpole, he and the flag both go down until one of two things happens. Either the flag reaches this point, or Mario reaches this point. Then Mario jumps off the flagpole and walks to the castle until he bumps into a solid block, which triggers the timer counting down for points, and finally the star flag comes out, sets a long timer, and transitions to the next stage. As you can see though, the base of the flagpole prevents Mario from meeting his height condition, so no matter where you grab the pole from, you always have to wait for the flag to go all the way down. It's unclear if this is a leftover from a removed mechanic, if the flagpole base was added later in development, or if this was incorrectly implemented in the first place. It's possible to touch the flagpole and meet the alternate condition to stop the flag from going down at the same time by clipping inside of the flagpole base. When Mario enters a block by a couple pixels, the game tries to push him out. As it turns out, the way it determines which way is out of the block is to look at Mario's speed. However, the collision with the block zeroes out his speed. By pressing left when entering the block, Mario ends up moving a tiny little bit to the left, not even enough to move by 1 pixel. But because he's moving left, the game pushes him to the right, pulling him further inside the block. This lets him grab the flagpole from inside the base, which triggers the special condition and stops the flag from going down. This glitch saves 20 frames over grabbing the flagpole normally. It could be used on nearly every single stage to save 1 frame rule, which very quickly adds up over the course of the run. All of a sudden, what seemed like a perfect run for years was improvable, and not just by a little bit. Although the discovery was made and implemented in 90% by KLMZ, the warpless task would eventually be improved a few months later by a beginner Super Mario Bros. Tasser by the name of Happy Lee. Happy Lee found that the flagpole glitch could save time nearly everywhere, but not quite everywhere. 2-1 and 8-3 ran into issues with fireworks because the time spent clipping inside the base makes you grab the flagpole a few frames later than you would otherwise. In those levels, the flagpole glitch delays the level ending just enough that the remaining time ends in a 3 or a 6, which causes fireworks to go off and waste time. This new discovery ended up saving 23 frame rules. This giant time save would have been enough to make this a legendary improvement to the task, but Happy Lee had one more trick up his sleeve. He decided to implement another recent discovery by KLMZ. It seemed inconspicuous at the time, as it happened to perfectly break even with the optimal way to play 7-1, and was only added for entertainment purposes. But this would mark the beginning of a new era for Warpless. This is the bullet bill glitch. Let's go back to what I said about the level ending sequence. Mario bumping into a solid block is what triggers the timer counting down for points. When doing the flagpole glitch, he jumps into the flagpole, so he pops out the top of the base. However, the bounce from stomping an enemy is much lower than the jump. He can clip inside of the flagpole base near the top of the block because the top corners of blocks are intangible if moving upwards. Once he touches the flagpole, he's not high enough to pop out of the block, so he gets ejected to the left. And because he's running into a solid block, the timer starts counting down for points, skipping the whole walk to the castle. This is also called the full flagpole glitch. It would be a huge time save, but unfortunately, because of all the time spent waiting for the bullet bill to get into the right spot, this ends up not saving any time. Similarly, the same trick could potentially be used in 5-1, but again, the time spent waiting for the bullet bill was too much and was slower than a regular flagpole glitch ending. However, 4 months later, Happy Lee would be back with more ideas. He implemented the bullet bill glitch in 8-2 just like it had been used in 90%, and this time the bullet bill launcher is ever so slightly closer to the flagpole, so it does end up saving time. 2 whole frame rules. With a faster wall jump room and a faster turnaround room in 8-4, he was also able to pull off a few more frames of time save. But yet again, the best addition turned out to be something that didn't even save any time. This one was truly groundbreaking. A full flagpole glitch by clipping in the ground in 3-2 using a Koopa. Similarly to the bullet bill glitch, the huge time save is completely nullified by the long wait to set it up. Because clipping in the ground puts you lower, you don't pop out of the top of the flagpole base when you do a 1-frame jump into it, so you get the benefits of the full flagpole glitch. After KLMZ had shown that you could do something beyond perfect play to save time in Super Mario Bros., Happy Lee had taken it another step further. What if you could find more ways to skip the walk to the castle? Ways that would actually save time? 1 year later, in August of 2009, that question was answered. This time by 3 legendary players teaming up. KLMZ, the discoverer of flagpole glitch, Adelicat, one of the most popular members of Taz videos with already nearly 100 submissions to his name, and yyyy, the real-time world record holder in both Warpless and any percent. yyyy discovered an incredible new glitch that he and KLMZ were able to put to use, the Vine glitch. When left and right are pressed at the same time while Mario is climbing a vine, he warps all the way to the right edge of the screen. This inherently doesn't save time because of the extra time spent getting the vine out, but it does set up for a variation of the flagpole glitch. When Mario drops off the flagpole, that increases his horizontal position. However, he's already right up against the right edge of the screen, so his position overflows and wraps back around to the left edge of the screen. This is known as a page wrap. Over here, he bumps into this block, which triggers a timer counting down immediately. So this time, the first part of the level ending sequence isn't skipped, only the second part is. But the best part is, this could be used in several levels where a vine can be found. In total, they were able to do it in 3 places, 2-1, 3-1, and 6-2. They combined for 7 frame rules saved overall. On top of that, they corrected a mistake Happy Lee had made in 3-4 where he lost 1 frame rule to slightly unoptimized movement, and KLMZ added 1 extra frame of time save in 8-4 for good measure. However, despite saving 8 total frame rules, they ended up only lowering the time by 7 frame rules, or 2.4 seconds. As it turns out, their new improvements caused them to run into issues in 5-4 because of randomness. The randomness in Super Mario Bros. Is governed by a random number generation function that runs on every frame starting from power on. This means that after waiting for a specific number of frames after power on, the number this function returns will be consistent. To manipulate randomness, most of the time the only thing you can do is trigger a random event on a different frame. The initial position of the fire bars in castle stages is partly dictated by the orange function. After improving 2-1, 3-1, and 3-4, they found that they entered 5-4 in a different frame, causing the fire bars to be in an extremely annoying location. No matter how much they tried, they couldn't get past them as fast as previous iterations of the task did, and so they had to sacrifice 1 frame rule in this stage, ending up only saving 7. This brought the time down to 1844.48. Now, Happily was not to be outdone. With a whole year of experience tasking Super Mario Bros. Now, he was becoming a force to be reckoned with. He quickly fired back with a string of crazy improvements of his own. Only 3 weeks later, he shocked the task community by submitting an 1841.7. The Vine glitch Andrew G and KLMZ used in 2-1 and 3-1? Obsolete. Happily found other methods to get a full flagpole glitch in both levels. In 2-1, he clips into the ground thanks to his paratroopa jumping in the wrong direction. This can happen because when a new enemy is loaded, most of its properties are initialized, but not all of them. As a result, enemies can inherit certain properties from whatever enemy was last in the same object slot in memory, including their vertical speed. When Happily stomps on this Goomba, that causes it to deload with a vertical speed of 0, which gets transferred to the paratroopa. A paratroopa loading with 0 vertical speed can sometimes turn around as it loads, and because it jumps to the right, it gets in the perfect spot for Happily to bounce on it and clip in the ground without having to wait for the right conditions. Well, almost the perfect spot. The only issue is that it would get there too fast for Mario to land on it in time, unless he was further to the right on the screen. So Happily needed a quick way to achieve this displacement. He found the pipe clip. As we've seen already, Mario can clip in the top corner of a block. Once he's inside of it, the game ejects him to the right. Crucially, this displacement does not scroll the screen, so he ends up further right than he should. 1 pipe clip was just enough to get to the paratroopa in time for the ground flip, and it saved 2 frame rules over the vine warp. In 3-1, there's a Koopa all the way up the stairs, which could be used to set up a full flagpole glitch with a shell bounce that walks down too early to be used. The Koopa gets loaded when the screen reaches this point, so if Mario happens to be further to the right, he can reach the Koopa before it walks off and kick its shell. The vine glitch can't get Mario all the way to the right, but Happily opted to use a pipe clip instead.
Brute force, baby.
Came out at the same speed, but the full flagpole glitch with the shell saved 3 frames.
Second try, baby.
But that's not it. In 3-2, Happily found an even faster way of clipping into the ground by bouncing earlier on the Koopa, which allowed him to save another frame roll there. In 6-2, he improved upon the vine glitch by grabbing the vine earlier and by using this Koopa. Because Mario is so far to the right, he can stomp the Koopa before it starts going down the stairs, and he can use it to set up a full flagpole glitch instead of just a box game. Those 2 improvements combined to save 1 frame roll over the previous task. Finally, with these improvements, the bad 5-4 pattern was gone and the frame rule was saved back. Altogether, this one was an 8 frame rule improvement over the previous one. The master of Super Mario Bros. Tasking. For quite a while, that was it for Super Mario Bros. 90% had been maxed out, and Warpless seemed like it too. But Happily does not give up. He knew the game could be pushed even further. For 2 years, he worked on this project of improving the Super Mario Bros. Tasks even more. In any percent, the result of his hard work was 1 single frame, which to this day is the final improvement ever found in Super Mario Bros. 10%. But in Warpless, Happily had more tricks to show for. On January 12, 2012, he unveiled his new iteration of the market stacks and once again left the community speechless with another 3-second improvement, 1838.22. Most of the improvement came from one major discovery while tasking the minus world ending category. Happily manipulated the random pattern of cheap Jeeps in 2-3 and 7-3 to get one in the perfect spot to bounce on and get a floor clip for a full flagpole glitch. He did this without even fully understanding how the random cheap Jeeps even worked, by painstakingly trying combinations until he did exactly what he needed. In short, the exact way Cheap Cheeps fly into the stage depends on three things: the RNG value, the enemy slots that are currently being occupied by loaded enemies, and Mario's speed. RNG can't be reliably manipulated because it's
done with all
deterministic
three
and
flare
based
stones.
entirely on the current frame. However, the timing at which Mario
Let's head
kills
back to the
enemies can
entrance.
alter the flying
We
Cheeps.
should be able to
Finally,
access the
slowing
cipher
down
key
can
now.
slightly change the trajectory of the Cheep Cheeps to help them get into the right spot. Of course, he can't slow down an arbitrary amount without ending up wasting a frame rule, so this isn't very flexible. Using this new full flag
The
glitch, he
Sentinel
was
never
able to
tried
save
to
4
interfere
frame
with
rules in
natural
both
death
levels
before.
for a total of 2.8 seconds.
Why did it make
The
an
rest of the time
exception?
save was found in 7-1 on this full flagpole glitch. This Buzzy Beetle would be great, but unfortunately it wasn't as easy as in 3-1, because the Buzzy Beetle starts one block closer to go down the stairs, which means it has to be stomped on very shortly after loading it. For this to be possible, Mario needs to be close to the right edge of the screen. Sadly, there's no vine in 7-1 to make this a piece of cake. Instead, Happy Lee resorted to a crazy strategy. He clipped into block corners throughout the whole stage. Doing this repeatedly slowly inched him far enough to stomp on the Buzzy Beetle before it went down the stairs, allowing him to use its shell for a full flagpole glitch and save 2 frame rules over the bullet method. Finally, Happy Lee's turnaround room improvement from 80% could be used here as well, and he added 1 extra frame in 8-4. However, he did have a slightly laggier 6-4 hammer pattern and lost 2 more frames to lag. This new R plus stats finished with a total of 3.48 seconds saved over the previous run, and nearly 20 seconds faster than what was considered a perfect run in 2004.
Cipher key.
Happy Lee happily called this the greatest Super Mario Bros. Run ever. It was unanimously acclaimed on TAS videos. Super Mario Bros. Had been put to rest. That remained the case for 6 years. There was no stage found to be improvable, or at least not enough to save a full frame rule, until 2018. Happy Lee teamed up with fellow TAS Mars 608 to try and find a frame rule to save, but they quickly ran into a brick wall, or rather, a firewall, 6-4. If they did save 1 frame rule, they would enter 6-4 at a different
This is
time
not
with a
how
different
we greet
RNG
people
value,
here.
and that would cause this
Allow
firebar
me
to be
to
in the way,
demonstrate
wasting
the
their efforts.
proper
Therefore,
etiquette.
if they wanted to save any time over the existing task, by not 1, 2 frame rules of time save. Levels with potential included a few of those that were 1 frame away from saving the frame rule, like 1-1 and 4-4, and levels with more complex strategies and movement. 4-4 especially with the wall clip, the firebar that you have to go under, and the mouse requirements, maddening and close, but Happy Lee had exhausted every idea he could think of. So, Happy Lee and Mars 608 turned to World 1. It had always been known that the power-ups in 1-2, 1-3, and 1-4 were overall the fastest to get the Fire Flower before the first Bowser. Happy Lee would get the Mushroom in 1-2 and the Fire Flower in 1-3, but he found that getting the Mushroom in 1-3 and the Fire
Those
Flower in
artificers
1-4
are
would come
nothing
out
to
even.
worry about.
In fact, it was
Don't
only
worry.
3 frames away from saving an
Chandelier
extra
has
frame
no
rule and
plans.
being actually faster.
I
To
don't
save that
believe
time,
we will run
Happy
into
Lee
more
calculated
ambushes
that they
on the way.
needed to find a way to get the Fire Flower at running speed. Mars 608 figured out that by taking extra time to let the block push Mario to the left more, he had more room to accelerate before jumping into the Fire Flower, which came out faster overall. Happy Lee and Mars 608 slowly and secretly worked on the task to keep improving it, intending to submit the task videos as soon as they would be done. But on the morning of March 17th, they found that they had been beaten to the punch. The Warpless task had been improved. They were beaten to it by Mr. Wind, who used a brute force script to optimize specific sections of the run. Using that tool, he independently came up with the faster 1-4 flower grab. However, the 6-4 firebar meant that for this improvement to matter, he needed to find another one as well. As it turns out, he was also able to find the one missing frame of time save in 4-4 that had eluded Happy Lee for 6 years.